This video was taken at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, where he was rehearsing for his This Is It tour. Ironically, the Staples Center will now be the location of his public memorial service. So was the singer healthy enough to perform 50 concerts? ABC's Chris Connelly has more.
A 50-year-old man providing glimpses of the electrifying performer that made him a legend. Two days after this rehearsal, Michael Jackson was dead. Now 4 of the driving forces behind Jackson's This Is It show are speaking out. AEG Live head Randy Phillips saying the tour's insurer okayed Jackson after a 5-hour doctor's exam.
Other than a little hay fever, he had a clean bill of health.
But it was Michael who insisted the show hire Dr. Conrad Murray as his $150,000 a month personal physician.
He looked me in the eye and he said, "Look, this is the machine," pointing to his body. "This is the machine that fuels this entire business, okay? I need a doctor 24/7.
How much was he singing full out?
He would sing full out more than we wanted him to, actually. But he was building his voice back, and it was absolutely there.
Randy, was 50 shows too many for Michael to be expected to do?
He was going to average 2¼ shows a week. So no, the truth is, Chris, if that was too many, then 1 would have been too many.
He could handle the responsibility of getting through it. He believed that, and we believed that.
As the greatest demonstration.
But while no one suspected drugs, they say, there were concerns about his frail physique.
We were concerned. Okay, Kenny used to cut his chicken breast for him and feed him, eat, and broccoli. I actually, in the last week, I brought in someone whose sole purpose it was to remind him to eat.
They are men who care deeply for Jackson, the artist, and the man.
The last time I ever saw him, at 12:30 a.m. in the morning, Thursday morning, when we were leaving, he put his arm around me and said, "You got me here. I know I can do this now. We're going to make it." That's the memory I have of Michael Jackson.
They are left remembering times they shared and wondering about what could have been. For Good Morning America, Chris Connelly, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Hold for applause, hold for applause, slow umbrella fade out.
And joining us now to talk about the pop icon and his final rehearsals is award-winning dancer and longtime friend of Jackson's, Debbie Allen. Debbie, good to have you. You've worked so closely with Michael Jackson over the years as both a choreographer and as a friend. How does he look to you in that videotape we were just watching?
Michael looks fantastic. He looks full of energy, full of life. He's clearly in control of his instrument. He's clearly building up to that amazing performance that we were all so anticipating, and he looks great.
There had been some reports that some people close to him were concerned that he wasn't fit enough, wasn't strong enough. Do you see anything that would give you any cause for concern?
Not based on this footage, no. I mean, when I worked with Michael, he was always thin. He always he kept it lean. He would eat a little miso soup and then go in the studio and dance for 3 hours. I mean, that's just who he was.
How did he go about preparing for a grueling concert tour like this? We know he was a perfectionist. We know that in many ways he was incredibly detail-oriented. How did he get into that training mode, so to speak?
Well, Michael approached his work, I think, almost in a scientific way. You know, like a scientist goes in a lab and, you know, explores and tries it like this and experiments and tests and tries to get it perfect. That was Michael. He was on that stage always exploring, practicing, perfecting, and he always filmed his rehearsals. I was not surprised that we have this amazing footage because he always wanted to be able to see if he was getting it the way he wanted it to be.
And when some people rehearse, they'll give it 60%, 40%. We hear at one point on that videotape somebody, you know, counseling Michael, don't give it your all vocally, save your vocals. Was he the kind of performer who gave it 100%? Are we seeing in that videotape, in other words, what we would have seen or close to it on stage?
Yeah, because when you're that consummate professional, you have to test it out. You know, Bob Fosse used to always say, don't go on stage unless you've broken a sweat and you've practiced the thing that's most challenging for you to do in the performance. And that was Michael. He was going to test his boundaries. He had no boundaries, and that's why he was so amazing. That's why he was a magician up there on that stage. That's why he could move the spirit of the entire world the way he has.
Obviously, Debbie, we don't know yet what the cause of death is, but I think people look at that videotape and they can't believe that just 48 hours later this performer would be dead. We hear reports from the doctor and from autopsy reports preliminarily that he was only weighing 114 pounds, that he had no food in his stomach. Do you see that seems to depict somebody who's in a very frail condition? And yet, when we look at the videotape, he doesn't look frail. How do you reconcile those two realities?
Well, I don't think we can reconcile it on this program this morning. I think this is going to be something that's going to be discussed over a period of time. You know, there's going to be a lot of facts that are weighed in. But at the end of the day, Michael Jackson gave us so much. He was such a genius, and in his death, we will just always celebrate the energy and the life that he gave us.
And in all the time you knew him, Debbie, and were so close to him and such an advisor, did you ever yourself become concerned that he might not be taking good care of himself?
No, I was only concerned that he would just eat miso soup. I said, boy, you need some ice cream. We'd laugh about it. But this is kind of that physical engine that you need. Athletes are like that. Kobe Bryant is like that. You can't go out there and play, you know, 48 minutes or an hour on a full stomach. You have to search for that energy within. That's what we all do. You can't dance and eat a lot of food or perform well. You know, it's just not recommended. But you should take care of yourself. You know, we are pretty hungry beasts in between our acts.
And as you said, that body is your instrument as a dancer. Debbie Allen, thanks so much.